What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team, stand up! We got some more crime reacts up in the building right now by Dr. Insanity. Man horrified after learning girlfriend's secret. You guys have been enjoying the crime reacts, man. Definitely one of my top fave type of reactions. New variety coming into the new year 2025. Remember, as I will always continue to preach any type of these videos, man. FTC brothers and sisters, new viewers, guy or woman, do not do any dirt. Do not do anything that you know can come back to haunt you in the daytime. Whatever comes you do at night, it always will shed in the light. Whatever that quote is, you know how I was trying to say. With that being said, man, all jokes aside, bro, it's 2025. There's too much technology out there. Whatever you do, especially serious crime, you will be caught. Whether it'll be next week, a month, 6 months, 6 years, you're going to be caught. And you're going to go away for a long time. And everybody's going to forget about you. Find something that you're passionate about and keep it pushing through life, man. Don't leave your family disappointed by throwing your entire life away by being stupid, man. All right? And always also make sure who you surround yourself around, man. They always say, a very, very wise man once said, birds of a feather always flock together, or guilty by association. All right? Let's check it out.
Hey, so, Colin, is that your first name? Yes. Hey, so, do you know Anna?
Last name is Wilson.
Oh, yes, I do. So,
There's really no easy way to say this, so apparently last night she passed away.
This is Colin Strickland, and he was just told that his ex-girlfriend, Anna Wilson, was brutally murdered only hours ago.
Costa 911, what's your emergency?
My friend is staying with me, and I just walked in, and she's laying on the bathroom floor, and there's blood everywhere.
Wow.
Austin, please! Come here.
Do I stop? I don't know what happened. I just walked in on her.
When cops first arrived at this gruesome site, they suspected a robbery gone wrong. But a series of damning clues found at the crime scene quickly pointed to not just a meticulously planned murder, but a deadly love triangle.
Damn.
And a killer that was closer to home than anyone expected.
No way.
Did you kill Mel?
No.
On May 11th, 2022, police were called to an address after a woman made this disturbing 911 call.
What's the address of the emergency?
It's 1708 Maple Avenue.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
My friend is staying with me, and I just walked in, and she's laying on the bathroom floor, and there's blood everywhere, and I don't know what happened.
Is she awake?
She's not awake. There's blood all over her face and all on the back of her head.
Is she breathing?
No, she's not
Okay.
breathing.
We've got the paramedics on the way to help you. Stay on the line, Caitlyn.
That caller was Caitlyn Cash, and she'd arrived home to find her friend, Mariah Wilson, clinging to life after being shot.
Come here.
Do I stop? I don't know what happened. I just walked in on her.
Get up. Okay.
1 second, let her get up.
Yeah, I had shot. Nobody heard any shots? We don't know how long she's been down? No. Oh, that's it. That's it. Pretty close to it. Yeah. Oh, we got CSF in there.
After assessing the situation, officers noticed cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF for short, oozing onto the floor. This fluid surrounds the brain, meaning the bullets had actually pierced her skull and killed her instantly.
Damn.
This meant there was no saving her, no matter what anyone did.
Execution.
But officers
That's what
could
they
still
call an execution style.
bring her
like,
killer to justice, which is why they need answers right now. Answers that only Cash can give, as she is the only witness that officers currently have.
Do you know if he's talking to anyone or any friends? I know you say you don't still live here.
Yeah, I knew she was with her friend Colin.
Colin?
Yeah,
Colin's last name?
Colin Strickland.
Colin Strickland?
Strickland, yeah. Yeah, they went swimming.
Did you see a gun or anything like that when you were in?
Colin? You said Colin Strickland? Strickland? Okay. Yeah. And you know where Colin Strickland is? No, but I have his phone number. I can call him. Or I can give you his phone number. Information from you. You said, so she went swimming with Colin Strickland?
Went swimming. I left to go have dinner with my friends, and then I came back. Yeah, this is my house.
That's your house.
This is my house. She's staying with me.
Right now, police are a bit disoriented as to what exactly went down just hours earlier, but they would soon run into some evidence that would change everything. Worth noting is that situations like these can be extremely traumatizing for those involved, but that's also the case for people watching these types of videos, just like you at home. If you've ever felt you need help with mental health, you should know there are always people you can reach out to. That's why I'd like to thank BetterHelp. The sponsor of therapy has helped me overcome my anxiety and subscribers. Thanks, piss to talk.
Right
Want
through the
in the
ad,
description? 10% off your first month of therapy. Now let's get back to the video.
Mental health matters, but skip it through the ad.
When I left here at 5:30.
Are you guys friends? You and him are friends, or?
I mean, like, acquaintances. I don't know what car he drives. It's a cyclist.
A cyclist?
Yeah.
Does he live in this area?
He lives in South Austin.
So this is in
Does
Texas.
she have like a license or wallet up there at all? You know?
I mean, she should.
She-
Yeah.
She said she's from San Francisco,
Well, she's from Vermont, but she's living in San Francisco.
so she came to visit you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just here for a bike race this weekend.
Okay. Did her and Collins have an argument at all? Do you know?
I don't have any idea.
You don't know-
The
you know?
only thing I know is she said I'm meeting him to go swimming.
Okay. All right. And what time was that?
5.
5 p.m. today.
Yeah. I mean, I can see
What-
it in my text messages. I just
When was the last time you saw her? Was that when you saw her? Or you had eyes on her?
for dinner at 5:30.
So you left dinner at 5:30. What time did you come back?
Right 2 minutes before I called 911.
Okay, so
According to Cash, Mariah had been with Colin, her ex-boyfriend, all day and was home only a few minutes before she was found dead. This made Colin a major person of interest that the cops would interview later on, but for now, there are more pressing matters. It turns out, Mariah was in town for a bike race and had brought along with her a $14,000 racing bike, which...
Damn, I didn't know. Side opinion. I'm gonna also move my webcam to be showing like the labels and stuff. Bro, side note, I did not know bikes can be that expensive. Any cyclists out here that's watching this video, bro? Is this true, bro? 14 bands, bro.
could have been a massive target for someone, and as the cops would soon find out, that bike was missing. It quickly became a possibility that someone could have been waiting for Mariah to be home alone and attempted to rob the bike, only for Mariah to resist and end up getting killed. This being their only lead, officers needed to trace down where this bike went, as it could take them straight to the murderer.
Now, obviously, we just clicked on the video, so we don't know what the full outcome is. We don't know if the person, whoever, unalived Mariah, was trying to rob her for the bike, or was it just for some other reason or whatever. But just just side note, again, ladies especially, man, and that's honestly for just anybody. But more for the ladies though, because the reason why I'm saying that is because, unfortunately, you guys are just more vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? And so especially even the weakest and weirdo guys, they can be even stronger. So with that being said, if you ever find yourself, unfortunately, getting into a situation where you're being robbed or you're being, you know what I'm saying, somebody's trying to take your belongings and stuff, just give it up. Don't even try to fight back. Now, that same rule applies to guys and stuff. you know, if you're not able to, you know what I'm saying, safely, you know, get to like your weapon beforehand, and that even still, you know what I'm saying, you don't even want to take that chance because someone can always be more quicker and athletic than you, or just get lucky even too. But especially for the ladies, man, like, you guys got to know that you guys are a lot more vulnerable, and you know what I'm saying, just men are just naturally stronger. So, you know, don't ever try to fight somebody back, no matter how expensive something is, you know. So just always keep that in mind. It's those types of situations.
Cover, yeah.
So where would the bike go?
Probably there.
There's some people fighting in the garage, or where's the bike at?
So if we right through this first unit right here, this is her. These are her life numbers. So
this bike covering the
big, yeah.
So where would her bike be at?
Where would she keep her bike? It would be right inside the door. Yeah. Is her bike's inside the door? Is there a bike? Anywhere? You see a bike? She said she would put it right by the door. No bike. That's negative, Jobs.
With no trace of the bike in the house, officers decided to begin searching the woods nearby when they made a discovery that showed them they were on the wrong track completely, leaving them with absolutely zero leads.
Hey, come here. Somebody might be in here. This might be the bike, okay? But hold on. Somebody might be in here. Okay. All right. Over there. Airport 32, I located the bike.
Since the bike was dumped nearby, officers suspected that this was placed as a red herring for them to chase. Officers are being tricked, and if the killer is smart enough to trick officers...
That really eliminates even them wanting to, if it has anything to do with the robbery, because if that was the case, you know, he wouldn't just leave the bike there.
They're also smart enough to begin covering up their tracks. This is why the officers swiftly moved to gather evidence from the scene, the most important of which are the shell casings from the bullets used.
There's one right there.
You said right there. Where?
There's one right there.
Okay.
Those bullet shells will help cops identify the gun used. Now they just had to find that gun and the shooter, who officers initially believed could have been Cash. It is for this reason that officers bring Cash back to the police station in order to conduct a crucial test to confirm whether she's innocent or not.
So, let me tell you this up front. By no means in the world do I think that you did any of this. Okay? But so what they're gonna do, we're just gonna have them swab your hands for gunshot residue. If we don't do this to you, then in court they can say, oh, what about this other person? Why didn't you do this part of the investigation?
A GSR, or gunshot residue swab test of Cash's hands, presented a negative result. Considering that Mariah was in a very narrow space of the home, officers concluded that Caitlyn could not have been the one to murder her. Fortunately, though, Cash did provide an important piece of information. The last person in contact with Mariah was Colin Strickland. Digging deep...
One of the things, too, another side note, when it comes to stuff, especially like if, let's say, most of the time, it happens also with the guys, but another time, most of the time, what basically I'm gonna say, and babbling around, when a woman gets like murdered like that, you know, literally all the time, 95% of the time, they're always gonna look at any exes that they have, any type of like, even sneaky links, any possible leads to like the last time they possibly could have slept with somebody else and stuff like that. You know, so if you decide to, you know, do crimes like this that involves you being enraged off of like any type of love triangle or jealousy, just know that you're going to be the first one, like the last 3 or 4 people that they've had any contact with, even if it's like an ex from like 2009, they're going to, you know what I'm saying, they're going to find a way to contact you. So always keep that in mind.
Cops discovered that the two were having drinks at a nearby cafe and have never suspected that this would be the last time that they saw each other. This is why Colin was an important lead who could give officers valuable insight about the events leading up to the murder. But before police went in to interview Colin, they noticed some houses in the neighborhood had CCTV cameras installed, which could possibly help reveal the killer's identity.
That's another thing. Everywhere has cameras now, so...
Investigators watched the footage back. They found something very interesting. CCTV footage revealed this black Jeep driving directly towards Catch's home where Mariah was staying that night. The moment it arrived, Ring cameras caught this gut-wrenching audio. And immediately after the shooting, the killer escaped.
Damn. That's
Although
scary,
this
man.
was a massive breakthrough, there was one glaring issue. Officers had no way of identifying the driver. After all, the cameras were too grainy, and the vehicle was too far away for officers to get a shot of the driver or run the plates. However, only a few days later, they come across something incredibly interesting when going to question Colin Strickland, Mariah's ex-boyfriend. This is the same black Jeep that officers saw on cameras parked right outside Colin's home.
Wee.
Hey, so, Colin? Yes. Hey, so...
Alright, I'm not trying to be like fucked up or anything like that. Now, this guy can probably be innocent, but I have a feeling that he might or may not. And let me tell you why. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, you say whatever you want, bro, but I can't really trust people that like willingly walk out of their house, at least with no socks on like this and just bare ground. Like, it's just, I've always thought, like, that's honestly always been like a pet peeve of mine, like just seeing people willingly be barefoot like outside like that. It's different obviously if you can't afford and you don't have shoes and stuff like that and you're in like really poor conditions. I'm not talking about that, but obviously he's in a good predicament. You just seen like 3 different vehicles outside. You've seen a motorcycle, you've seen a decent car, and you've seen a black truck or a black vehicle SUV on the side. So this brother definitely has way enough more money to at least have socks on his feet. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, if people are just like willingly like just comfortable going outside barefoot like that, dirty ass feet, dirty soles, man, like, it's just, you gotta think, man, like, what other things are they doing? Just always remember that. I don't know. This is me personally, man. I personally can't trust nobody that's willingly able to just, walk out like this barefoot, bro. Just touching the bare ground, bro. Having just don't care if you got like just dirt, on your feet like that, so, man. Like, I don't know.
Anna? Mo. They know Mo. Yeah. Everybody calls her Mo. Last name is Wilson. Rider, she's a gravel rider. Yes, I do. Okay, so there's really no easy way to say this. So apparently, last night she passed away. How did? Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I don't trust him. Just something about his body language. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, don't be surprised if this dude is ending up the one that's guilty later on in the video, bro. And if he doesn't, I'll just find a way to apologize. But bro, just the number one sign that this dude, like, something's off about him is that he's willingly comfortable walking outside in concrete barefoot like this, bro. Like, I'm just saying.
Right now it's an open investigation, but it is being investigated as a homicide.
Right now, the cops know he was the last person to see her alive. They've discovered a vehicle in his driveway that matches the one captured on security cameras, and it even has a bicycle rack attached to the rear end. Man. Colin Strickland has just become their #1 suspect. Damn. But he doesn't realize this yet, as officers continue to question him.
Are you okay?
Bro, something's off about him, bro.
What? Do you happen to have her mom's address by any chance? I know that she lives in Vermont. I have an address for her brother, but we're just trying to send someone to her mom's address instead of us actually calling her over the phone. I didn't know. I don't know the address for her mother. Go to the Eddie yesterday afternoon, and then give her and drop her for the apartment she's been staying at. Yeah, after about 6:30.
The cop intentionally avoided telling Colin how Mariah died, as they do with any suspect in a murder case, but they notice his body language is concerning, as he is barely able to look them in the eyes. This could either be because of pure shock.
It's not even an eye. See, I ain't gonna lie, because sometimes this is even with me. Like, I don't ever judge anybody, not even be able to make eye contact. I've always told you guys, you know, I suffer from social anxiety. I've been suffering from it since I was about 11, 12 years old. Like, you know, but you know, it is what it is, you know, and just natural shyness, you know. If you ever sometimes, if anybody ever happens to like see me in person or have like a mini conversation, unless I'm like really comfortable with you, and even still, like most of my homeboys and stuff, like homeboys, like girls that I dealt with in the past, like bro, they know that I just don't naturally make eye contact. Like, you could be talking to me like this, and I'll naturally be just like looking this way or looking this way. Sometimes I'll look at you in the eye or in the face for like a second or two, and I'll look away. It's just like, that's just like my natural, you know what I'm saying, like personality, and just like the social anxiety / shyness that I just have, I was born with or whatever. But I never judge on that. What made me open up is not just alone of him coming out barefoot of his crib. It's his body language, it's his reaction, you know, it's just, you know, it's just something about it that seems off.
Two had spent the previous day together, or in the worst case scenario, he's afraid to look them in the eyes because he had something to do with the murder. So to uncover these secrets, police started looking into Colin's life and his history with Mariah. This is when they discovered Caitlyn Armstrong, Colin's girlfriend, who separated from him in October 2021, but then got back together a month later in November. However, during their breakup period, he had a month-long romantic affair with Mariah and remained in contact with her even after he resumed his relationship with Caitlyn. Immediately, officers begin suspecting that Caitlyn could be one of the major suspects in this investigation. These suspicions were further confirmed when they ran the plates of the black Jeep and found that it didn't belong to Colin, but it was actually owned by Caitlyn. Considering that Colin was good friends with Mariah and Caitlyn hated this made her a suspect in this investigation. So to get to the bottom of this, officers bring in Colin 2 days after the murder in order to achieve two objectives with one interview. The first would be able to see whether Colin has a solid alibi that he can present to the officers. After all, whether he did it or not, Colin was the last person to see Mariah alive. And the second is to gather information that can be used against other suspects, like Caitlyn.
And you said that y'all left around like 6:30 to.
I don't think that's accurate, because we must have left Fulberger at about 7:45 or even later, probably maybe more like 8.
Yeah.
Just as it was getting dark.
Okay.
Because we went straight to her place and it wasn't dark yet, but it was.
I got you.
It was cooling off, and it was like awesome evening. I remember that.
Okay. Well, what about whenever y'all were at the bar? Was there anybody that was like watching y'all, or was acting weird with Mo, or
Mo didn't know she doesn't live here, so no, not at all.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Anybody that like tried to hit on her at the bar or anything, or
no?
Okay.
No, not that I saw. Nor that she mentioned. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary, to be honest, at the bar.
The cops are looking for more than just details of what he and Mariah did that day. They're going to try and figure out why exactly the black vehicle from the murder scene was conveniently parked at Colin's home.
Whenever I was over there earlier, I saw there was the other car, because you said that you drive a motorcycle, and then you drove the Mercedes.
Drove Mercedes.
Up here. I guess the other one
is hers. My girlfriend, Caitlyn.
Okay, so that belongs to her. Okay. All right, so you got back around like 7:30.
I don't know exactly when that was. I think I had texted Caitlyn as I was leaving, just saying, hey, are you still out getting food? Yeah, more like 8:30 is when I dropped her off at her house.
Okay.
Like just before dark, I texted Caitlyn as I was after I left.
Okay. And that was whenever you.
It says 8:36. And I think she was in her yoga class. She showed up. Time close.
So you're getting back home. She's not home. What time was it that she got home?
Short right after I texted her, probably 9:20 or so. That's 9:21.
Okay. Like where had she been? Like that whole.
She had actually a laser hair removal appointment. She said at 7 p.m. downtown.
And then after that, I'm not exactly sure. She texted me asking if I wanted to meet up, and I didn't reply. And then I didn't see her or hear from her until I was back at home.
And did she say anything like whenever she got home of where she'd been?
No, but she was in her, like, a yoga outfit, carrying a yoga mat.
Although Colin had heard from Caitlyn the night of the murder, he couldn't give her a solid alibi and didn't even know exactly where she did her yoga classes. He also managed to avoid mentioning his romantic affair with Mariah, but he'll soon be left with no choice but to tell the cops everything.
Wow. So how long had you and Caitlyn been dating?
About a year and a half, maybe 2 years, actually.
Okay. And then how long was it that y'all had broken up whenever you and Mo got engaged?
Not very long, actually.
While you were dating Mo, Caitlyn was still living with you?
She was moving out.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she had another house. She had a sister in town, and yeah, it was definitely very...
I was about to say, that would probably be pretty...
It definitely was.
Awkward.
It was kind of almost like something I felt like I would like to force the situation, which is stupid, but...
So, why was it that you had to change the name from Mo in your phone?
Just because because in the past Caitlyn has looked at my phone, and I just didn't want to surface.
Basically, that would always start fights.
Exactly.
Basically, nobody else can have you.
Yeah.
You know. So it gets kind of jealous.
Yeah,
Understandable. I mean,
wasn't exactly unique to Mo or anything.
Yeah, I got you.
After listening to Colin, officers achieved what they set out to do. First, they cleared Colin, who had texts and times to back up his alibi. Secondly, they managed to gather information about Caitlyn, whose entire story is shady. That means that out of the 3 suspects that officers have, Colin, Cash, and Caitlyn, only Caitlyn's movements are entirely unaccounted for. This is why cops were now more suspicious of her than ever, but had no irrefutable evidence to arrest Caitlyn. At least, not until the cops searched the police database and hit the jackpot. Caitlyn Armstrong had a warrant on her head for a minor infraction. It was all they needed to bring her in and then use it as an excuse to question her about Mariah.
All right, so I'm Detective Connor, and so my partner is actually talking to Colin right now. So I wanted to come in here and start chatting with you and everything, so you don't have to wait super long. So it sounds like you may have some information, may have witnessed something, so I just wanted to chat with you about some stuff. But you're here for a warrant right now, I guess. Are you familiar with what you have going on with that?
No idea.
Okay, so I guess it was like a theft of service warrant, something kind of minor.
Wait, what?
Okay, I guess it was like a theft of service warrant, something kind of minor. Nothing. Okay. So that's why you're here. You've got a theft of service warrant. That's why you got picked up today and everything. So I was just letting you know on that part.
Observe how the detective maintains an almost nonchalant demeanor, despite the gravity of the situation. This is deliberately done to create a sense of security for Caitlyn, ensuring she remains unaware that she is under any suspicion by the police. Despite this, Caitlyn appears noticeably tense and uneasy.
Can you tell me what it was that was the theft of service?
I can look. I'm not sure what it is at this point, but I can look that up later and get you a little bit more information on that for sure. But because you are here and because you were under arrest for that portion of it, we always have to read Miranda and stuff because I want to talk to you about some other stuff that's unrelated to that.
The officer has ignored Caitlyn's questions about her warrant because she is more focused on digging up information about Mariah's murder, a tactic that becomes dangerous as Caitlyn begins to raise concerns about her legal counsel.
If I have an existing warrant and you don't know what it's about, do I need an attorney here?
So the warrant is just a Class B, just theft of service type thing. The reason I'm here is because your name came up during a conversation with Colin. I think there's a lot more information that you have that can kind of explain some of the stuff he's saying. But to be able to do that, I have to read you your rights, just so that you know and you're protected and things like that, okay?
Okay, and so if you're reading me my rights, then I should
That's because of the warrant, because you're under arrest for the warrant. So you're technically in custody because of that warrant. So they're 2 separate things. Does that make sense?
I think so, but I have never heard.
Even though they have Caitlyn exactly where they want her, one tiny mistake is about to allow someone cops suspect to be a killer to walk away scot-free.
Well, good news. So that's what they were just knocking on the door is apparently that warrant, the date of birth was wrong. So it had your name, but the date of birth is wrong, so it's to a different person. So that's not, you're not under arrest, okay?
Okay.
I know, it's a little crazy.
Although the cop tries to make a joke of the situation, Caitlyn now knows that she can leave whenever she wishes. After all, cops have no legal ground to hold her any longer. This is why it's down to this cop to try and convince her that talking is the right thing to do.
But I would really like to talk to you and clear some stuff up because Colin did bring your name up, and I think there's a lot more information that you have that can kind of clear some stuff up. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I feel like I should have an attorney present.
So that's totally your choice. So at this point, you are free to leave at any point. So this is going to be consensual at this point because you're not under arrest, okay?
To make matters worse, Caitlyn has just requested an attorney. Legally, the detective is now bound to cease any and all questioning related to Mariah's murder. But she's about to thread a very dangerous line of breaking the law in order to get any information out of Caitlyn.
Really?
I would love to leave.
You would love to leave?
Just arrested me in front of my house, in front of all of my neighbors, and carried me in here in handcuffs in front of downtown Austin. It was incredibly
I can only imagine, yeah, and I'm so sorry. I don't have control over that part, okay?
Yeah, I'm not upset with you.
So there's a situation that's going on. Did you hear about what's happened over the past 24 hours?
Colin walked in the house and said one of the women in the second community passed away.
Yes, yeah. While Colin was talking to us, your name came up. And so that's where I would really like to talk to you because it sounds like there were some issues between you and this girl, and I think that there's probably a lot more to it that you could help explain.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what you mean or what information you
like.
Well,
so it sounds like maybe he went out with this girl the other day, and maybe it sounds like from what he's saying that you were a little upset about it. And so that's why I kind of wanted to get your side of it because that's not fair if he's just saying one thing and trying to go down a route, and I want to make sure that's not the case.
That is not accurate.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to chat with you because it's a guy. He's gonna say stuff, and so we want to make sure that we get both sides of the story and everything and clear it up. So, what were you doing yesterday?
I would like to leave. I think.
You would like to leave?
Yeah.
Okay. But understand if you do, then we only have one side of the story to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we're hearing from Colin, you know, it's one side and
Well, I just am uncertain as to even what you mean or what he could have said because I didn't have any idea that he saw or went out with this girl.
Okay, yeah.
Recently.
Has he been like talking to her on the side?
Leave. I don't actually know, and I would like to leave.
Okay.
At this point, getting Caitlyn to talk willingly seems like a lost cause. She knows she can walk out of the station and nobody can stop her. So the detective decides to drop their bombshell evidence in the hope she might crack.
And your vehicle was seen next to her house, and we needed to talk about that, okay? Because when he's saying this stuff and then your vehicle
That's crazy, the situation right here. If you guys are catching on, this girl actually can leave right now because right now what this cop is doing, they're technically violating her rights. You know what I'm saying? Because they apparently they got the date of birth wrong. So technically they're supposed to have a warrant for whatever theft or whatever she's supposed to be doing, but they basically in their database put the date of birth wrong, and whatever reason it just messed up, and she's not even supposed to be in the police station right here at all. She's not even supposed to be arrested. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of interesting seeing this cop right here. She's actually bending the rules and trying to you know what I'm saying, violate her rights to try and see if she can, you know, talk about some of the stuff that had to do with this homicide.
I want to
so
be able to explain.
How do y'all think about? What do y'all feel about this?
There's a logical explanation for this. Maybe you were upset and you were just.
Because this girl right here, she can just get up and walk out right now. She physically can't stop her, but she's just in a way intimidated or just not knowing fully of all of her rights, it looks like.
I don't know because I don't have your story. When I can't explain that and all I see is that your vehicle's over there, that kind of makes it look not too good, right? Okay. And then when we're talking to Colin and we're hearing like, yeah, there was some jealousy stuff going on, like that doesn't sound very good. And so that's why I really want to get your side of the story, because maybe there's a lot more going on.
I would like to leave if I am free to leave.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there was nothing that officers could do to stop Caitlyn from walking out. At this point, they were incredibly suspicious of her, as her behavior throughout the interrogation meant that she was hiding something. But if officers couldn't find out what this was from Caitlyn, they'd do it from the one person who knew her best, Colin Strickland, who was called in a second time for an interview in hopes of uncovering more information about Caitlyn.
Wow, so
However,
this is 5
there
days
is
after his
one
first
problem. This time, Colin brought his lawyer with him, and questioning him is about to become exponentially harder.
How was Caitlyn during that time? I guess my understanding, she wasn't too happy whenever she saw Mo.
Caitlyn after Mo was in Austin for a week, and Mo and I had broken up with Caitlyn before Mo came to town, and then I actually did not know that she was coming to Austin in October. I had no idea. We hadn't discussed that, and I don't think so, because it felt like a surprise. And then she was here, and I just said, "Oh, let's hang out." So I was mentally ready to kind of move on. And I know after Mo left town after a week, Caitlyn's things were still in my house. We were sleeping in separate rooms, and effectively, Caitlyn was on Bumble. I know she had made several dates with people, and I don't know. I never asked what extent they were evolving a relationship, but I know that she had several men that she was dating of sorts, and I was fine with it. I mean, that was kind of the understanding, of course. So, yeah, it just seems very weird to me that there would be any dwelling on fixating on a person when she was moving on to other relationships, at that time.
From what Colin says, the two clearly had a troubled relationship, especially considering the facts that both Colin and Caitlyn rebounded while on break. This is why officers need to dig deeper into what Caitlyn acted like both during and after this. This is why officers need to dig deeper.
So that girl that was able to walk out because they basically had a bad warrant or whatever for her, this does not look good at all. This was her Instagram story, apparently, as you see in parentheses. The Caitlyn girl that just walked out of the last...
Into what Caitlyn acted like both during and after this time to determine if she showed obsessive traits in her personality.
It's just kind of going back to, me just trying to figure out, just kind of how she is, her personality and stuff. I mean, if you were to ask me about, hey, how was your wife? Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you, yeah, she's always happy. But does she get mad? Yes, everybody gets mad. That's natural. I'm not going to blow that out of proportion. Do I think that my wife could go and kill somebody? No. There's no way in the world. Do I think my wife would hit somebody? No. Now, if you ask me that about my 6-year-old son, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he wouldn't punch somebody at all.
I think Caitlyn would hit somebody. No, I honestly don't, because it would be too. I don't know. Do I think Caitlyn could kill somebody? No, I don't.
If Caitlyn had been planning to murder Mariah, Colin was about to make it clear he suspected nothing all along.
I said, I think y'all need to stop talking to each other. You need to separate yourselves from each other while the fact finding is going on. I just don't think it would be helpful.
Of course.
And so I don't think there's been very much. There's definitely not been any being together.
Since she left, and I left Friday midday, eventually to get a new SIM card for my phone, which I assumed was okay.
Yeah.
Had the same number.
You're allowed to have it.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And then saw Claire. Since then, I haven't spoken with Caitlyn or seen her. And so the two detectives came by my house yesterday. Looked at that, asking if she was there, if I had seen where she was. And my father had contacted her yesterday morning. He had gotten in touch with her. I gave him the number that Caitlyn had given our mutual attorney.
Has she ever mentioned in the past of wanting to hurt Mo?
No, she's never mentioned wanting to physically hurt.
Okay. Do you think that she is capable?
If I thought she was physically capable of hurting another human, I would have extricated myself immediately from that situation. Not only for not so much for my own personal safety, but my concern for another human.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that answer?
The answer is no.
Okay.
I don't believe in any way she's capable of that.
Okay. The gun range that she visited with her sister, do you know where that gun range is?
I think it was South I-35. I told them to go to the Reds, which is now something else, which is the one I drove past on my way to school for 12 years at the Waldorf school. But they went to another one because a mutual friend had been there.
You bought the guns, right?
I bought the guns, yes.
When was that?
I think early December.
Okay.
There's a receipt with them. I'm sure you could look at the receipt.
In an ironic twist, Colin had bought Caitlyn a gun for self-defense, but after police conducted a firearm examination, it just so happened that the bullets it used were the same caliber that were found near Mariah's body. So far, the cops had evidence of Caitlyn's car at the scene, they knew about her obsessive behavior, and they knew she owned this.
Let's see what that text says. So nice to see you. Would love to see you again. Hello, you there? Why aren't you replying? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Bro, right off the bat, looking at this obsessive behavior, you can see the text right here. Guys, like, this is never cute in any type of girl, bro. Like, I've had to cut off multiple bitches in the past that was in my rotation that acted just like this, bro. This isn't cute. It may look cute maybe after, like, the first or second date, especially if the chick is, like, a solid 8 and up and stuff like that, bro. But trust me, it's not worth it whatsoever. Guys, do you see this type of shit right here, bro? Anytime a chick is saying stuff like, you know what I'm like, just look at the body language of this, bro. So nice to see you. That's the normal text. Nothing wrong with that. We'll love to see you again, all right? That's all it should have had been left in right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is even free game for the ladies. Like, don't ever, like, double text something like this to another dude. If they don't respond after that first time within, like, an hour or 2 or 3 or whatever, they really not feeling you like that. You know what I'm saying? You was just a little, you feel me, a little late night snack type ish, or you just, you feel me, a quick fling. You feel me? There's plenty of fish in the sea. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you feel me, settle and just move on, bro. But, guys, fellas, once it gets to this part right here, hello, ... question mark, and then she texted again, they probably put all this text in one so you guys can see it probably. These are probably like 5 texts, you know what I'm saying, throughout a certain period of time. Then she goes like, you there, ? And then she says, aren't you replying? Guys, fellas, I don't know how old this lady, but she's obviously a grown-ass woman. She is a grown-ass adult, you know what I'm saying, having this type of, like, you feel me, like, very immature type of, you know what I'm saying, behavior, bro. You know what I'm saying? A thing when women, if they do stuff like this, bro, and even for guys in a certain sample, it applies for both, you know what I'm saying, guy and woman. You got to think, most of the time, when they are texting like that and trying to get your attention like that, bro, they literally have nothing to lose in life at all. Like, anything, from whatever job they're working at, from whatever's going on, they have nothing to lose. All right? So, at any given point, you decide to stop dealing with them or just stop messing with them, best believe they're going to try and do anything possible. Like, they're going to take it to the grave to make sure they stay in your life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you are a breadwinner type of dude. If you're a breadwinner dude or you're a breadwinner type of woman, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you clearly see that the person that whoever you're dealing with doesn't have that much going on for themselves and they're willingly able to text you like this, bro. I've never thought, and even too, which is another red flag, bro, like, if women are able to consistently throughout a daily basis, like when you're texting them, like, bro, be able to type paragraphs to you, bro, that is literally somebody that is mentally unstable, bro. That's another person, another sign that that person has absolutely nothing to lose. Like, bro, if you're a grown adult, like, bro, people that literally work or do anything that involves working throughout a daily basis or every other day basis, you can feel me on this one, bro. You just physically do not even have the proper energy nor the proper time to even, like, bro, like, even me, nigga, I don't even text like that anymore nowadays because I just be so busy. 9 times out of 10, unless it's like something where I could quickly reply, where I could be like, bet, or I could be like on the way or some shit like that, I'll text it. But, bro, even for the most part, nigga, I'm using voice messages, bro. I don't got time to be doing like these and stuff like that, bro. bro. I really be even, like, be trying to figure people out. Like, how are you even able to write 3 or 4 sentences, you know what I'm saying, in a text message? How do you even have that much time in the day to do something like that, bro? So always remember that. It don't matter how pretty the girl is. It may seem cute, especially if it's a girl that you have a heavy crush on or stuff like that, bro. But trust me, it's 100% screaming out mentally unstable / nothing to lose / you decide to leave. I'm going to do anything possibly to make sure I stay in your life, even if it involves some type of crazy, you know what I'm saying, crime.
Same
whatever,
model
bro.
of gun
So,
that was used to kill Mariah. But while they searched for her whereabouts, the investigation continued to uncover crucial and damning evidence that not only heavily suggested Caitlyn was responsible for Mariah's death, but also cleared Colin of any wrongdoing. The cops gathered all cell phone data and compared it to the surveillance footage, allowing them to map the movements of Mariah, Colin, and Caitlyn on the night of May 11th, 2022. Colin and Mariah were at Pool Burger after their swim and were there around 7 p.m. When they left, they headed to Maple Avenue, but didn't realize that Caitlyn was stalking them and was driving in the same direction.
Oh, that's creepy.
Caitlyn thought that turning off her cell phone would cover her tracks, but the surveillance footage caught her, and what it shows is a black Jeep eerily similar to Caitlyn's closing in on the house where Mariah was killed. As Colin dropped Mariah off at the Maple Avenue address, both were completely unaware that Caitlyn was secretly stalking them only yards away.
Hell no.
The same black Jeep had driven down the back alley of Maple Avenue and was slowly heading toward Mariah's address. Moments after Colin left, a neighbor's doorbell camera captured audio of Mariah screaming for her life before she was murdered. Colin's cell phone placed him driving away from the area before Mariah's death and cleared him as a suspect. This meant that the only person who could have killed Mariah was Caitlyn. All that was left to do was arrest her. But when officers went to find her, they discovered a massive problem. Just hours before they solved the murder, Caitlyn had left the country under a fraudulent passport, which was originally her sister's.
Damn!
Caitlyn likely did this to avoid using her own passport in case officers were keeping tabs on her, but the fraudulent passport gave her enough time to escape. After getting a search warrant for her Gmail records, officers found a flight ticket that was booked for a one-way flight to Costa Rica. Even CCTV footage obtained from Austin Bergstrom International Airport in Austin showed her boarding into the plane. An initial investigation...
That's fucking crazy, bro. Bro, you never really know who you on. You know what I'm saying? Like, who you next to, bro? Like, even if it's like a flight or, you know what I'm saying, even on the road, bro. Like, you gotta think, bro. If you in the airport, bro, at least one person, whether you're on the same plane or you're walking past in the airport, bro, they can be a murderer. They can be a serial killer. They can be a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could be something, you know what I'm saying, crazy. And another thing, man, to blame too, bro, you gotta blame this dumbass justice system, whatever police department this is, bro. Y'all literally had her in the station, and then you fucked up because you messed up the date of birth or whatever on a warrant that they mentioned earlier, so you just let her walk out free because you couldn't really technically legally arrest her or you know what I'm saying, continue on with anything, bro. Yo, this
into
is
her
wild.
records showed that she had booked a hostel in Santa Teresa Beach while working as a yoga instructor. So, to lure her out...
A yoga instructor?
An officer sent a message out on social media asking for a yoga teacher in the local area. Soon, Caitlyn took the bait and replied to the ad and agreed to meet up.
Oh, what a fucking dumbass. What a dumbass, bro. This gotta be the most, yo.
But in the month that she'd been on the run, she'd taken some extreme measures in order to conceal her identity. Caitlyn had undergone several surgical operations to alter her appearance, but there was no fooling the arresting officer, who recognized Caitlyn from her eyes.
Yo, I'm sorry, not to offend. She's chopped, bro.
She was arrested and flown back to the United States, where she was charged with attempted murder. However, that wasn't the end of it.
Wait. Attempted murder? Didn't the Mariah girl die? How was it attempted murder?
Because in October 2023, Caitlyn tried to escape again by taking advantage of a doctor's appointment outside of jail. She can be seen here fleeing from the cops after she jumped from a bathroom window. This time, she was caught almost instantly. If the several attempts to escape justice and falsifying of documents weren't enough to convince a jury Caitlyn was guilty, then the surveillance footage and the testimony of Colin Strickland, and most importantly, the ballistic analysis that matched the gun to the shell casings found at the scene of the crime certainly were enough to convince them. Consequently, a year and a half later, on November 16th, 2023, Caitlyn was found guilty of first-degree murder, and she was sentenced to 90 years in prison for the cold-blooded murder of Mariah Wilson.
Damn! Threw the book at that bitch. Woo! Wee! Wee! Now, there's a lot of things to discuss about this, man. First of all, this is 100% sloppy homicide. Now, when I react to crimes and stuff like that, and you guys see me in the future or whatever, talk about like how I just said right there, I'm not trying to advocate for people to try and like get, you know what I'm saying, yo, pull off a drive-by or go pull off a murder and learn how to get away with it. I'm not trying to do that. But I always love pointing out certain things that just make certain things sloppy, whatever, you know what I'm saying, crime that they're doing. For example, this one right here. First of all, why the hell, I don't understand, you had the same vehicle that you pulled the homicide in, and you didn't do anything to get rid of it or alter the appearance of it, or you try to whatever, like you just decided to take it to the person that you knew was in the same, okay, so that Colin dude, you knew, you know what I'm saying, that he was the main person that they were gonna look at, and you decide to leave that vehicle at his crib knowing that they're most likely going to come after him first and question him about what happened during this, you know what I'm saying, homicide and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then in second, like, why the hell would you decide to still low-key be on social media, nonetheless also do a job that most of the time requires you to find something on the internet or have somebody be able to, like, find you through the internet from you being a yoga instructor? Like everything about this was just 100% sloppy. And, like, none the least, you know what I'm saying? You did all this because you are obsessed with this dude. You know what I'm saying? You were so obsessed with this dude. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? This is a message really to the ladies. You know what I'm saying? You decided to take out the person that you were jealous of because the dude that you really wanted thought that this other girl was probably more attractive, prettier, had better coochie, whatever was the case. She just was apparently, like, to Colin, a lot better of a woman than you. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about this. Okay, let's say hypothetically, you know what I'm saying, you didn't even get caught. Bro, the fact that you were willingly able to bust out this homicide and take out somebody, you know what I'm saying, that Colin was talking to, do you really think that Colin was going to decide to stay with you? You know what I'm saying? And then nonetheless, now that you're off the streets and now that, you know what I'm saying, you're doing a whole life sentence, bro, he's going to find like 4 or 5 other girls that look exactly like you and forget about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you throw away your freedom? You know what I'm like, ladies, y'all got to know your worth, bro. If a guy clearly is showing signs, like, even off the text messaging, like, she should have already got the motto that, okay, look, this dude isn't really fucking with me like that. Yeah, I probably, you know what I'm saying, like this and that. We, boom, like, okay, find somebody that's plenty more efficiency. I guarantee you there's probably somebody that was 5 times gonna treat you better than Colin's, probably has maybe even a lot more bread. Not saying that you was a gold digger or something like that, but just like, you feel what I'm trying to say? Like, you did all this for Colin at the end of the day to still do his own thing, bro. Like, this stuff is crazy, dog. This is crazy. This almost is like, it's almost a mix of like the Dateline and stuff like this, bro. Like, yo, these crime reacts, yo, I mess with these, man. I mess with this. Shout out to Dr. Insanity, man. Make sure you get his channel up to 3 million. This stuff is just sad all along, bro. It's sad all along. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole woman that ruined her life. She's never gonna smell fresh air. She's obviously mentally unstable. Even like when they was like chasing her and she jumped out the doctor's window, just by her body language, something just seems off. You know what I'm saying about her? And then now you left another, you know what I'm saying, woman deceased. Like, you know, their family's gonna be going through it and stuff, man. This entire situation is just sad, bro. Like, you know, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, the moral of this entire lesson is, bro, there is always bigger and better fish in the sea. You know, don't ever throw your life away, you know what I'm saying, for love, bro. Love can get toxic. Love can get dangerous, man. Please be careful.